Lachedeema's error of judgment can be blamed on the rain, but this conflict has been brewing for a long time. Two females sharing a territory is a formula for disaster. They are now locked in a terrible and terrifying relationship. If Lachedeema is to be allowed safe passage here at all, she will have to be very careful about these meetings in the future, or the violence between them will only escalate. But how could the bond between them have unraveled so badly? It all started a year and a half ago. Lachedeema was not yet 2 years old. She was feeling more confident each day, surviving quite well on squirrels between meals that her mother provided. But she was still totally dependent on her mother. Nearly 2 years after the traumatic baboon attack on her den, she was well aware of the dangers of being seen by the troop. She'd had to retreat just too often. The distant calls of baboons still made her skin twitch, an instant reaction to run and hide, while the baboon troop was secure in its success in scaring their local leopards into submission. The brew of hormones and well-exercised instincts boiled inside her and forced her forward. Although they told her to run, something else urged her to go closer and learn more about her adversaries. The alpha male is always the biggest threat. His forward-looking eyes scan in 3 dimensions. Apes have evolved stereoscopic vision to be able to accurately judge distance and detail for leaping through the trees, but this also makes them better at combing the bushes with quick, darting eyes. They're intelligent enough to piece together an image of a leopard from small bits of information. The shape of an ear is enough for them to assemble an image in their minds and scream an alarm and bring the alpha male closer to his ambition to kill a leopard. It was madness, a wild and reckless risk. But by some miracle of fate, Lachedeema silenced the baboon before the enormous troop could notice. In that instant, Lachedeema, the curious cub, made one of her many transformations. She was suddenly a slayer of her most feared enemy. Quite suddenly, this already momentous kill took an amazing twist. Something moved in the dead baboon's fur, a day-old newborn. It took a moment for Lachedeema to notice. She's always been curious. But instead of a swift bite to the neck, Lachedeema stopped, then lay down with the baboon. She didn't know how to react. Hyenas would normally send her scurrying for the trees, but this time, she gently lifted the baby to safety first. Only then did she return to confront the hyena. It was an aggressive defense, protecting the baby, not defending her kill. Lachadima's eyes never left the baby for hours, and strangely, this newborn started following her everywhere, reaching out to her, most likely imprinting on his new surrogate mother. And Lachadima seemed to be caught up in her own internal conflict. A young leopard at a confusing crossroads of life, torn between being a predator and an inquisitive cub. Perhaps something more maternal and compassionate started to grow within her at that moment. Finally, both settled down to sleep, exhausted by the event, cuddling for hours against the winter chill. It was the cold that finally made the baby baboon go quiet, and Lachadima left the body to feed on the mother. But for a moment, the night had been filled with strangeness. Africa is so good at divulging little secrets, just when we think that we know it all so well. There are many myths and legends dancing around these ancient forests, where the owls call your name, and the distant hippos speak to the gods. Another layer of mystery was added. The night the leopard lay down with the baboon.